Earlier today, Zion's former college coach Mike Krzyzewski weighed in on California's Fair Pay to Play Act in a statement. And it might not be what you think. Coach K said this, quote, "I don't and won't pretend to understand all the complexities of such a change. However, it is a sign of the times that we in college athletics must continually adapt, albeit in a sensible manner. While we have made significant progress in recent years, we've not always responded to the needs and rights of our players swiftly and frankly. We're playing catch-up after years of stagnant rules. I hope and trust that not only will there be a plan to put the student-athlete's best interests at the forefront, but that we'll also have a firm plan for implementation at the national level." So, Matt, what's your reaction to Coach K?
I love his open-mindedness compared to Coach Feud of Gonzaga. I think it's a situation where you have to understand in the big scheme of things, 99% of student athletes don't go pro.
Right.
We're always looking at the 1% on shows like this and ESPN Sports and all that kind of stuff, but 99% of these people do not go pro. And we bust our tail to become the best athletes we can be, along with students. And then if you're not fortunate enough to make that next jump, what's next? Our whole lives we've trained for this, just like other people in business have trained to do what they do. So we're kind of behind the 8 ball if you don't get a chance to make that next jump, and 99% of the kids don't. I see nothing wrong with kids getting paid to play.
And more importantly, as you know, Matt, when we were in college as student athletes, that was work. That was work, and a lot of people say that your degree is compensation. How often are athletes going and doing the degree that they really want to do? They sometimes settle just because they feel like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that strenuous, maybe hum bio major or computer science major because I'm still trying to be a top athlete. So that compensation value with degree is just a little bit lower. But I like Coach K pretty much co-signing on this whole movement. It's big because Coach K just gets it.
Right.
He always meets athletes where they are and also where athletes are going. That's why Duke has been dominant for so long. Coach K has always been aligned with the athlete's best interest. And I mean, pretty much whether you're a one and doneer like Zion or whether you're a 4-year player like Grayson Allen, he meets you where you are and gets the most out of you. And that's the futuristic mindset that I think California is understanding and Duke understands through the leadership of Coach K.
Carolina is one of the, North Carolina is one of the states. Florida is another one of the states that's looking to implement something similar. You mentioned Mark Few, the coach at Gonzaga. He did an interview recently with Jeff Goodman of Stadium, and the quote that came out of that interview is about Gavin Newsom in this particular act. He said, quote, "He should probably stay in his lane, like I tell my players, and figure out homelessness. I think he's got a state that borders Mexico and get that mess figured out." And that was one of the quotes that came out, Mark Few of Gonzaga to Jeff Goodman of Stadium. So that, when you were alluding to that, it's different, certainly a different side of the spectrum.
I mean, when you let people talk long enough, their truth will come out. You know where he stands, but what bothers me is he's almost making $2 million a year at Gonzaga from the likeness and what the players have been able to build him. He obviously helped a lot of players, but the players have helped him acquire a stature where he's one of the elite coaches, and I'm sure he's taken advantage of that in that community as well. So why can't his players eat off the same thing?
Right.
That part.
No doubt.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.